Hi. Hi, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here on this really blustery day where most of the trains aren't working if you live in New York City. So you are a dedicated group of people. We really appreciate you being here, and welcome to those that are streaming in as well. We're happy to just talk about what's happening at Berklee NYC. I'm Julianne Wick-Davis, Program Director for Writing and Design for Musical Theater.
And hi, everyone. Great to see you. I'm Marilee James, Program Director for Songwriting and Production. And today we're really looking forward to talking more to you about our 3 programs: live music production and design, writing and design for musical theater, and songwriting and production. And I really encourage you to keep an open mind. You might have come in really interested in one program and you might leave feeling that same way, but these are all really fantastic and very unique programs, and we're looking forward to talking more to you about them.
Great, so we just want to mention, and we'll mention this several times today, that for our extended action applications, that our deadline is March the 31st. So that's coming up. So we will, again, we'll continue to remind you, but we're going to give you a lot of information to help you with those applications.
Yeah, and it's always so fun to check out those portfolios as they come, and it's one of my favorite parts of doing this, is getting to listen to all your new music. And I want to remind everyone this is a STEM program, which is really fantastic for international folks. It allows you extra opportunities to stay in the US after graduation. And you also don't need a music undergrad degree to apply.
Great.
So,
Live
without
production
further
design
ado,
is a
we have
one-year
started
master's
the
degree
live
covering
music
the
production and
creative
design
technical aspects
part of the
producing
program.
live events.
There are so many possibilities within the industry of arts and technology, and this program gives you a taste of a lot of those different avenues that you can take.
I wanted to produce more events to showcase all of my friends and people that I know that are so talented, and I thought coming here I would get the technical skills that I could take with me in the future to be able to really produce events that support my artistic vision.
Everyone's amazing, they're so kind, and there's a lot of them here and they're all so talented.
It feels like a big community, and it's like home away from home.
It was a great opportunity to produce visuals, audio, lighting, so I can direct.
Students have the opportunity to get hands-on experience with video production and broadcasting live events.
We lean on each other for help, for advice, and inspiration.
And that's a learning experience I'm going to take with me throughout the rest of my life.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here today. Thank you. That was the video for live music production and design, which is one of 3 programs here, as you know. My name is Maren Wiltz, and I'm an education associate supporting the live music production and design program, and I'm excited to talk to you about it today, both on Zoom and in person. So, what is live music production and design? We get this question quite a bit because there aren't many programs doing what we're doing. Our program director is Daniel Pembroke, and he says, live music production and design is a canvas where creative vision and technical skill paint an immersive narrative. The key here is both artistic qualities and technical qualities. You can know everything there is to know about a soundboard, but if you don't have that artistic vision of what you want it to sound like, it probably won't be that effective. So here we want you to know audio, we want you to know lighting, we want you to know visuals so that we get the whole picture and so that everyone can talk to each other and communicate regardless of what your role is in the show. So what will you learn in live music production and design? In the fall semester, we spend a lot of time making sure that everyone can speak the same language. Some students come in with a really strong understanding of audio for like live sound, and some people have never touched an audio board before. Some people come in with lighting, same thing. So the goal is to even out those conversations so that we can all communicate and collaborate and present good shows. So in the fall, you'll be learning visuals, technical artistry with lighting, you'll have audio class, you'll have a narrative construction class, and project management, which is one of the most important things in live design. So spring semester is where we dive into these technical details even further, and we're creating shows based off the foundation that you built in the fall. Through immersive mapping, through interactive experience design, 3D class, you have a business and entrepreneurship class where you go out into the city and find a venue and put on a show, and you're also putting on shows in this space right here. You'll know how to hook up all these microphones, how to make all these lights happen. We have some LMPD students in here right now making it work. Thank you for being here. And so you'll be able to run this space and make it your own, which is awesome. And then in the summer is the comprehensive project that you work on, otherwise referred to as the culminating experience. So you have a project that you do, and then you have an artist showcase, which we'll talk about later, and you defend your project in front of a panel of industry professionals in the summer, which is a 6-week semester. So the skills, we already hit on a little bit of it, but we really create immersive stories here. Our ability to make a show work from start to finish, thinking about audio, thinking about lighting, thinking about the set design. What do you want someone to come in and experience when they're in this show? That's what we really talk about here, the overall picture, the why. Why are we doing this? Visual content creation and lighting. You learned these both in classes, but then you learn how they work together. Are the lights the same color? Do they work with this wall? We were just chatting about the photo on the backdrop. Is it being washed out by the lights? Is it looking good? All of that stuff works together, and we talk about it as a team. It's not just audio siloed with lighting over here. And we learn about audio and efficient management. Like I said, you have a few project management classes where we go over all the fun documentation, call sheets, Gantt charts, all the planning, how to communicate with your team in an effective way that both eliminates conflict and speeds up and makes an efficient process. And coordinating the interactive experiences, managing the stage elements, designing them, all of that good stuff here. What will you leave with? You'll leave with a versatile experience. This is one of the biggest things in this program. You're not coming here to become an expert on a specific QL5 board, right? You're coming here to get the language, to be able to walk into a room and be a beneficial team member, because you can have these conversations with lighting as an audio person where they're like, oh yeah, we can actually talk about this. We can actually create a fun event where we're all working together and one person just isn't telling us what to do. So you also get a professional portfolio. So this is the portfolio that you will present for your artist showcase. It's like you'll have your own booth, and all of the stuff that you've been working on throughout the year, you will present it to industry professionals walking around. And this is where you get to make connections with people and really focus on what is after Berklee NYC. 96% of our alumni from live music production and design are working in their field of choice, whether it was what they thought they were going to be doing when they walked in here or what they found out they loved by taking this program. We have a lot of alumni in the field, and we're going to continue building those connections for you. And your industry readiness. We do a lot of things here that try to emulate what professional settings would be. We have an artist coming in, like an outside artist, for a show in 2 weeks that our students are putting together. So they're treating him as a client, figuring out what questions to ask, because sometimes musicians don't know how to talk about things visually, and so they need to be probed and ask the right questions in order to make the experience what they need and what they want it to be. Who is an ideal candidate? Well, any of you, if this sounds like exciting and fun to you, you're the ideal candidate. But more specifically, if you're an innovative thinker, someone who enjoys problem solving and thinking outside the box, we're not looking for people who come in here with a mission to recreate a show they saw 5 years ago. We're looking for the future. We're looking for people who are excited about where technology is going. Creative enthusiasts, passionate about storytelling. Storytelling is everything in this program. We're not just here to make a light flash. We're here to make someone feel a story and to make sure they walk out of here knowing what they experienced with a purpose. And a future industry professional. Whether you know exactly where you want to be 5 years from now or not, this program can help you develop your design eye as an individual, and it can help you work in a team and understand what the roles are and understand what to look for. Your portfolio submission, sketches or designs. If you're a visual person, this is where you can accentuate your strengths for visuals. We want scripts or recordings if you're more into audio. Again, show us your strengths, but then also take a risk. Show us something that you're working on, something that inspires you, something creative that you're having fun with. Your submissions, again, should reflect storytelling in everything you do, whether you're showing us a video. There's been some amazing videos submitted that we can tell, oh yeah, you can work in these systems and you know what you're doing, just because of the way that they created the story of who they were and what they were describing. So that can be a really strong point for you. And also a resume, a letter of recommendation to strengthen your application for live music production and design. So again, I'm Maren Wiltz. That was a very brief introduction to what you will learn in this program, but I'm happy to field any questions now if any of you are interested or have any. There will be separate Q&As for the other ones later, and a final one. Or if we have any from the chat online, I don't know if we're doing that. Nope, never mind, sorry. Okay, well, thank you for being here today. Again, I'm Maren, and I'm excited to introduce you to the Writing and Design for Musical Theater program next.
This program really taught me that I am able to be my fullest personality in my profession.
You're doing something that you love, that you have committed your life to, in a space like no other.
Watching a room full of students who are essentially strangers in September leave together in June as a cohort of tight-knit collaborators has been the most rewarding experience for me.
It's really shown me how to really celebrate the strengths that everybody can bring to the table.
It's been so exciting to see students start with a seed of an idea and then come up with a full draft where they get to work with directors, music directors, and Broadway actors.
I think a year ago, I was a completely different person.
I think we're really learning what we need to be on the cutting edge and be successful.
This is the next generation of writers that are going to be on Broadway.
It just opened up my eyes to a whole new world that I never even knew existed.
There's just such a warm environment with everybody, whether it's students, peers, friends.
It's one of the most rewarding things that I've gotten in my whole life.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon.
Hi. So Dan Marshall is joining, who is one of our faculty here on Writing and Design for Musical Theater. So we're just going to talk a little bit about that. We've got a performance for you, and also we want to be able to answer any questions you might have. So first of all, the big question is, what is Writing and Design for Musical Theater? And we really have this holistic approach to the creation and development of your original musical. So our forward-thinking and interdisciplinary curriculum will prepare you to be a multi-hyphenate musical theater creator in an evolving industry. So what are you going to learn? Dan, you want to talk about the year?
Thanks. So happy to be here, everyone. Welcome, and I hope you're all enjoying being in the Power Station. So our fall semester is really a chance for our writers and composers to come in and really think about what they want to create in terms of the subject of their musical, and to find a partner if a partner is something that they came here to seek. So we surface a lot of ideas for shows. We do a lot of exercises that get everybody collaborating with one another. And then in the spring semester, everything that we do, every assignment and every class is geared toward it. It all adds to the creation of this first draft of an original musical that you're creating. So it's not like you're going to a class and something is, completely non sequitur in terms of the curriculum. Everything builds this first draft. And then finally, in the summer semester, we put it on stage. We produce a professional showcase in this very room. We have equity actors, off-Broadway, Broadway professionals. We have professional director working on your show, professional music director, musical supervisor, band, all here. We invite industry people. It's like a 15-minute sizzle reel, live sizzle reel of your show, and it's shot 3-camera angle. We you have those assets to take with you, as well as the demos that you create here in the Power Station.
And we're going to show you an example of that
Thanks,
in a
yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
So the skills that you're going to acquire while you're with us are understanding the craft of musical theater. Because it's immersive, it is holistic. You're going to be learning about lyric writing, music composition, and a book. You're going to learn about collaboration at all stages of the development, knowledge of the inner workings of the industry and the writer's role within that, the proficiency in cutting-edge technology in a rapidly evolving art form, and effectively promoting your work in a professional and dynamic way. So what are you going to leave with? Dan, you want to talk about this?
Absolutely. As I mentioned, you'll have all of the assets that were created for your professional showcase in the summer semester, as well as the full first draft of your original musical, which we talk about industry standard formatting. We basically want everyone who leaves with a degree from Berklee NYC, Writing and Design for Musical Theater, to enter the industry as like, oh, you are a pro. Like, I don't, like, we put producers, we put other shareholders at ease immediately because the way you're communicating your craft to people is, oh, you understand, you know, the basics of how to communicate simple things like your score formatting, your, you know, all that stuff. So, yeah, that's it.
Great. So who is the ideal candidate? We are looking for people who are passionate about telling stories in this art form. So with words and music, and also people who are interested in pushing the boundary of the art form. We start with a very traditional, you know, look at understanding what, how musicals are put together, but then we really encourage people to see how they can change that. We are looking for composers, lyricists, book writers, playwrights, songwriters, and most importantly, you do not have to have previous musical theater writing experience. I think that's one of the most important messages for us today, is that if you are excited about this art form and you have all of the skills to be able to join us, then we really would love for you to join us. So your portfolio submission, I'm just going to put all of these up here so you can look at that, but oops, we're going to go back. And then we're going to go forward. So, portfolio submission, examples of your work that excite you the most. So it doesn't have to, again, does not have to be musical theater related. We want to know what you think is your best work. It does not have to include musical theater examples at all. And then work that shows us who you are as a storyteller. And that might be music without words. It might be words without music. So any of those examples and any questions about that, you can always reach out to us to clarify. But we really are just excited to get to know who you are as a creative artist. Now we're going to bring on two current students, Emmeline Doss and Harrison Lewis. They are currently collaborating together on that first draft of a full-length musical. They're going to perform a number from their show. So we'll have them come up and just talk a little bit about...
Hi, everyone. How are you doing? I'm Emmeline.
I'm Harrison.
And we are writing a show called 7 Steps Around the Fire. This show asks the defining question of the LGBTQ plus experience: what can and should you sacrifice in the name of love? It follows a young, queer, Indian American woman whose newfound love with another woman is complicated by the expectations of Hindu culture, Indian culture, to get an arranged marriage.
Yeah, and today we're singing a song that occurs in the second act, where our main character, Karina, goes on a walk in the park with her betrothed, Aman, and they are deciding whether they can make this work with each other.
Great.
From the moment I saw him, I wanted to hate him. I wanted to hate him for all that he was. But the moment I met him, it was I've known him as if I had known him from some other life. I don't even know who he is. I don't even know what he likes. I don't even know what he'd be like in bed. I wanted him dead, but he doesn't want this. He wants me to be who I am. He wants this to all go away. He's a pawn in the game that they play with our destinies. It's not his fault. He's a good guy, and he's a nice guy. He's successful, he has money. He's intelligent, he's funny. I can tell that he's a good guy, and he's a nice guy. He's attractive, he's respectful. He would never be neglectful. He would make a gentle father for our kids. Baba would love him, and I could stay their daughter. And I could stay their daughter.
From the moment I saw her, I wanted to hate her. I wanted to hate her for stealing my time. But the moment I met her, I knew I could trust her. I knew I could trust her. The feeling was right. I don't even know who she is. I don't even know what she craves. If I don't even know how to be what she needs, then everyone bleeds. I wanted my freedom. I wanted a passionate love. I wanted for mama to die, knowing I lived a life of my choosing, of my own will. Still, she's a good girl. She's a nice girl. She's adventurous. She's daring. She's delightful, kind, and caring. I can tell that she's a good girl.
He's a good guy.
She's a nice girl.
He's a nice guy.
I could talk to her for hours.
The conversation never sours.
She would make a steady mother for our kids. Mama would love her, and I could stay their son. I could stay their son.
I can see you through the veil.
We could have the wedding that our parents always
I could
planned.
wear the dress my mother had picked out since I was 5.
I can paint every detail.
We could take the vows before the fire.
If I led you to the slaughter, would it make them feel alive?
Mama, Baba, look, I finally got it right. Throw me a marigold, hear the hum of laughter in the air. Imagine their eyes filled with tears and joy and pride and love.
I could learn to love you, couldn't I? I could learn to love you.
He's a nice guy, and he's a good guy. But
we don't have to force what's not there, not anymore. No one's watching, no one's listening. What would happen if you let your guard fall to the floor?
thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're so excited about that piece and the work that the two of them are doing, and they're currently working toward that showcase that we mentioned before. So we want to show you just a little bit of a showcase that happened last year with a piece called Young Me by Michelle Rocket, who wrote the book Music and Lyrics. And this showcase the show is about a family, a Korean family that moves from LA to a small town in Colorado after a tragic loss of a family member. And in this moment, which is the last few moments of their showcase, this is where mysteriously this package shows up from the dead relative and is addressed to young me. And so you'll see this moment and kind of get an idea of all of the assets and the kind of production that we do for the showcases.
I don't think I can. What the hell you mean? I don't want to open it right now. I'll open it later. Young me.
That's okay. That's okay. That's fine. You don't have to open it right now. She doesn't have to open.
So we run, 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 run. So we run. So we run, 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 run,
Great. So that gives you an idea of what these showcases look like. And also this piece is being now developed by Musical Theater Factory, one of the not-for-profit theaters in town. And also Michelle received a grant from the New York...
NYSCA, New York something creative arts.
Yes.
New York State.
But she received a grant to continue to develop the piece as well, which is really exciting. We have time to just take a couple of questions if anybody has any questions about writing and design for musical theater. And if not, we can wait until later too. Yeah. Dan, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so one of the classes I teach is called Storytelling in the Musical Theater Canon, and during that class, we're absorbing a lot of a diverse slate of musicals from the canon, and during that time, we're surfacing ideas. Historical figure adaptation, public domain fictional adaptation, writing from your own lived experience, like Michelle did. And any original concepts. So we bring these into the room, we start talking about them, we have these really rich, exciting discussions with people who may be a potential collaborator with you if you're looking for a collaborator. And then around week 5, 6, we start compiling all of these ideas that we bring in, and maybe ideas we brought in even over the had before we even got here, and we start having conversations with potential collaborators, and we ask you to generate a document that sort of says, I would like to write with Julianne the musical about that time when I got lost at Boy Scout camp or whatever, and then or I'd like to write. Yeah, it's a great musical. I never found my way back, and so then.
So it's a drama.
So it's a drama. And so then we it's a little like we just kind of go through and we ask you to come up with 5 different possibilities that excite you, and then Julianne endeavors to complete the world's most exciting / frustrating Sudoku puzzle, and you end up with someone who I think you'll find really gratifying. That's certainly how Harrison and Emlyn came to be partnered with one another. They did not know each other before they arrived here at Berklee NYC. The first time they met was in a Zoom room over the summer. So it's a really exciting, rich process, and you get to know each other, and you get to know kind of what makes people tick creatively. So, yeah. Great question.
Yeah, any other questions? Great. Well,
awesome.
I'll be back later if there are any more. And now we would like to introduce Songwriting and Production.
Woohoo!
This school has really helped me come into myself as an artist.
I don't think I would have gone through the same personal development anywhere else.
We're covering a lot of different grounds. We have artists of all different genres and styles, and having them all together under one roof is just not something you'll get in a lot of other places.
These are your collaborators, your friends, your supporters.
The speed, the amount of vulnerability, the amount of being open to feedback.
It really helps you to figure out who you are as like an artist or a producer or a writer.
Seeing other people working so hard on their crafts, on their learning, it pushes me to learn more.
I've felt so lucky to help and guide current students in creating really unique artist persona that reflects who they are.
I will surely remember this experience for the rest of my life.
Hello again.
Hey, everyone. Again, I'm Marilee James, Program Director for Songwriting and Production, and I am privileged to be joined by the amazing Danielle Parka. She began several years ago as a student in the program, and then we loved her so much, she became our grad fellow, and then we loved her so much, she became our faculty member, and she's an incredible writer and producer and educator.
Oh,
So
thanks.
Thank
They
you
just
for
couldn't get
being
rid
here.
of me, is what happened.
So songwriting and production. I'm so passionate about this program. I myself graduated over a decade ago from Berklee undergrad, and this is really the program I wish I had had at that time. The big question, what is it? What are you going to get out of this program? It's a program for hybrid writers and producers. So in a highly collaborative context, it reflects the way songs are currently being made. And we use modern technology without the need for a large-scale studio, which is really how songs are being created at the moment.
The philosophy of the program is really about you finding your true artist voice. So that means whether you are a producer or a songwriter looking to cultivate like an artist project, we want to make sure that you're sounding so authentically like yourself and you're coming out really unique and innovative. The program is also pretty intense, but you're definitely supported through the faculty and also your peers who all share the same goal. You're all in this intense program creating something and you end up helping each other out. It's kind of cheesy to say, but it is kind of like a big family and we like it that way.
Yeah, and on that note, collaboration is really a cornerstone of the program. It becomes a big family very quickly. I'm always amazed at Thanksgiving, which is only like 7 weeks into the program, how many people are going to their classmates' grandma's house in Philadelphia or taking trips to Canada together. It's really an amazing network for life. One of my favorite stories is from last year. One of our alums, Jared Benjamin, wrote a song in collaboration class with some classmates. He put it on put a demo up on TikTok that blew up. And so he very, very quickly recorded that song with his classmates and they put it out on Spotify fall semester and it now has 10 million plays. And so that's kind of an example of just how kind of the magic of what happens when you're with like-minded individuals and when you're surrounded in an environment where you're just constantly creating. I see people do in 10 months what takes many people 5 or 10 years in this program, and it's a really special thing to see. What will I learn? So we had the luxury of being able to create this program from scratch, looking at what is happening in the industry, how are songs being made, turning to all of our wonderful experts in the field, and I think we have done a really great job of replicating what you need in the industry right now, and our faculty members are all working members in the industry and bringing that knowledge back into class. So the way the curriculum is built, kind of much like Julianne and Dan were saying in the writing and design for musical theater program, it's all tied around your culminating experience, which is 5 to 10 songs you're going to produce throughout the program. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But yeah, Danielle, could you tell us a little bit about kind of the arc of the program?
Yeah, absolutely. So the fall semester, while you're taking songwriting and production classes, we really want you to focus on writing as many songs as you can. We want you to take that top 5 or 10% of your best songs and then bring it into that spring semester where we're looking for you to really refine and make your song sound really unique. We want to get that song up to industry standards. We want it to be competitive. We want it to be innovative. And then we sort of take those songs into the summer semester where you will do your culminating experience defense. And also you'll be focusing on your future plans. Marilee always says that we want you to know what you're doing the Monday after you walk across the stage at graduation. So the summer semester is also there to help you set you up for that.
Great, and let's talk a little bit more about some of the skills that you will come out with. This is by no means an extensive list, but some of the big ones.
Yeah, so first of all, you're going to learn how to produce and write creatively using Ableton Live. So again, this is helping you create that really unique artist sound within this awesome software. We want you to hone your craft in contemporary songwriting as well, meaning like whatever genre you're writing in, whatever feels really unique to you, we want to make sure that you get it out into the world right now and you're competitive in the industry. We also want you to learn about contemporary collaboration practices. We have this really great collaboration course where you get to try your hand at different roles in the songwriting process. So you get to see what feels really comfortable to you. You also get to learn creative mixing approaches. Again, trying to get your songs to be really competitive and stand out once they're out in the world. And you'll also learn business and marketing strategies, again, making you feel really comfortable for the future ahead.
And what will you leave with? So your culminating experience is 5 to 10 songs that you've written, produced, and mixed that are at industry standards and really unique to who you are. I think that's something that really sets this program apart from other programs, is we're looking to develop what is your X factor? Like when you're on a playlist, why do people know it's you and their ears perk up and they go search your name and become your fans? So that's a big part of the feedback and the kind of network of support we're trying to create with the curriculum here. And to be clear, these are 5 songs minimum that have come from 40 to 50 songs that you've written during the program. So we're really, really trying to chisel away to that top 5-10% and then revise those, refine those songs, so you're leaving with some excellent material. Also, the marketing content to go along with that. Our deliverables very much replicate the deliverables of a record label, and a plan for release and execution. So many people take this work and the next year after they graduate, they waterfall their singles, meaning they release them every 6 weeks or so while they are working on their new project. So it's a really great way to launch yourself into the music industry, and you're going to have all this support on how to do that. And I think the biggest thing you're going to leave with is knowing how to take a song from the very beginning. So you wrote it on piano, or you made a simple beat and wrote a song, to get it from there all the way to a competitive producer mix. And I think that's a really beautiful thing, to be able to take what is, in you creatively and be able to put it out into the world. Who is the ideal candidate?
Well, candidates that are not prepared, that are prepared to take risks.
Only not prepared to take risks.
Prepared. Who are prepared to take risks and collaborate with other students. The collaboration is really important to us here.
Yeah, and this is a program for artists, producers, songwriters, instrumentalists. You know, if you are very, very strong in production and haven't done so much songwriting or vice versa, that's okay. This is a good place for you to be, and we actually think it's a huge strength of the program that we have people coming from so many different backgrounds.
Yeah, and the portfolio submission. You're definitely going to have to have 3 songs in your portfolio, and please, please, please use our portfolio template. So other than the portfolio, what you'll also need is a statement of purpose, a resume, and a letter of recommendation. I really want to stress and remind everybody who's here and watching that our deadline is March 31st, so please get those applications in. We want to hear you.
I did it again. Hang on. Let's go back. We want to hear you.
We want to hear you.
We want to hear you.
Yes, and I want to emphasize also that this is a STEM degree, so if you don't have any prior musical undergrad experience, that's okay. We're looking for people who have those really strong, you know, hot songs that we just like really want to listen to. And we're looking for people who are just passionate about what they're doing. And we're excited to listen to your applications.
Cool. Well, we have a couple treats for you. We have a very special performance coming up. But before that, every student makes a journey video as part of their defense to just sort of show, it's almost like a diary of what your year was like. And this is a wonderful grad we have from last year, Jana Pokop. And we'd like to just show you her journey video for a little taste of what it was like in the program.
Hi, my name is Jana Pokop. I'm a singer-songwriter originally from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I cut my musical teeth in Austin, Texas, where I spent years performing and touring. In post-pandemic Austin, though, I increasingly felt the loss of a creative spark, and for lack of a better term, it felt really stuck. I know this is supposed to be a journey video, but I'd call my past year more of a complete transformation in spirit and mindset. When the whirlwind of applying to Berklee NYC and being accepted and moving across the country within a matter of months was over, I found myself in a brand new, intimidating city with a bunch of strangers, unsure if I could keep up, unsure if I had made the right choice. All that fear was pretty quickly thrown out the window within the first month at Berklee. I was surrounded by amazing humans doing the same thing I was doing. My job was to write music and learn the tools that would help me to express myself even more through production. I was in heaven. When, with the help of my advisors, I came up with the plan to travel home to New Mexico and collect the reverb maps of Georgia O'Keeffe's studio for my album, I was in a realm beyond heaven. My writer self, my producer self, my nerd self, my adventuresome self, my New Mexican self were all aligned. One of the biggest accomplishments of my time here at Berklee has been learning to trust myself. I've always been one to seek input, but I think I have sometimes been the type to integrate it all to a fault and assume that what I was doing myself was somehow wrong or not good enough. I changed what I was doing to fit into a non-existent mold. Berklee never once asked me to do that. They only asked that I grow.
Cut off there, but I think you get the picture. That's Jana Pokop, and you can check more of her music out on Spotify. I would love now to introduce a very special guest. This is another individual who went through the program, and then we snagged him to come help us on the teaching front. Justin Guswell goes by Blinking Objects, and I would highly encourage you to check him out on the socials. He's performing around New York, and he also did all of the artwork you're going to see triggered in his performance. So without further ado, Blinking Objects!
Thanks, y'all.
Can't say that it feels right late at night in a bed made for two, a lonely desert, empty as ever. There's a place there for you, diluted echoes carrying pieces of portraits of you. From morning to sunset, they stick around my head. It's a welcome review. Can't say that it feels right, it's not airtight. I got frostbite without you. On the phone at night with the starlight. It's the best we can do, but I wound up so tight, unleashing I just might take flight to you. When in the sunset, it sticks around my head. It's a welcome review, but I wound up so tight, unleash me I just might take flight to you. Gonna burst my bubble just to get on your level. I'm in trouble if I don't break through. Sometimes it can feel so slow and dull, so weak and thin. Without you, honey, oh, I can't tell the way you make my day. Each time that you call, I fall right back to you. Sometimes it can feel so slow and dull, so weak and thin. Without you, honey, oh, I can't tell the way you make my day. Each time that you call, I fall right back to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. Thanks, Justin. Can you tell us a little bit more about what is going on with all of this?
I certainly can with auto-tune and formant shifting. That's okay. So I do live performance with Ableton, and I'm using this grid controller that I use to trigger.
Okay, no.
Oh, but it was so much more fun the other way.
You get a peek behind the curtain. Yeah, so I do live performance with Ableton, and I'm using this grid controller to launch parts of the song while also manipulating samples live, and then I'm using this live vocal processor. Then I have the artwork that's also being triggered with each part of the song, and it's all kind of reactive. And these are all skills that I learned through the program.
And you went through the program several years ago. How did your creative process kind of change and your workflow change during that year?
So I had been producing before I came in, but what I learned in terms of like arrangement, especially with sampling and then mixing, allowed me to kind of have my tracks hit in a way that they weren't live before. So I feel a lot more confident about taking things that I've been producing and bringing them to the stage. And then also through the songwriting, like I was writing songs before, but I wasn't really into like rewrites, and I wasn't really doing a lot of getting feedback from other people. I was more of a solitary writer and producer for a long time, so that kind of community effort, having those resources was super helpful. And then our CE projects, this artist project was something I developed through that, so I had the opportunity and the time and the resources to put all these things together in something that a year, I think it would have taken me a lot longer to do that. So now I have this project that I'm kind of doing a lot of other stuff with, and it's all the things I developed right here.
Great, thanks, Justin. Well, we'd love to take just a couple questions. We'll also be mingling for about 15 minutes afterwards and can chat more. But yeah, you guys are both here. And thank you. Raise your hand, and we'll also give you a mic so that all our friends on YouTube, thank you so much for being here, can hear you. Right here. Oh, it's coming from the other side. What's your name?
Super legit, 2 mics. I'm Miguel.
Hi, how are you?
I'm
Thanks
fine,
for being
thank you.
here.
Yeah, thanks. Great performance. That was super
Thanks.
cool. I love what you were doing. I just wanted to ask a question about the application, if possible. I was wondering, for the personal statement, there's instructions that say to describe the project you want to undergo in the program. Is that in reference to what specialization you want, or the CE?
It's in reference to the CE. So if
Okay.
you have somewhat of a vague idea of like an EP that you want to put out or a sound that you want to cultivate while in the program, we would love to hear about that.
Okay, great. Thank you. And one more question, if you don't mind, real quick. Also, for the portfolio, is it okay to use a private SoundCloud link for records that are not released yet?
Absolutely. So I forgot to mention this before when we were talking about the portfolio, but you do not need to have any music released. It can all be like a private SoundCloud link or a private Dropbox link. We just want to know what you got going on, and it doesn't have to be something that is like out there in the industry currently.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, and as you go through your personal statement, we want to just know as much as we can about what is exciting you right now, but it's okay if you get here and that changes and evolves, and actually we expect it to. So we're just looking for kind of where you're thinking that you want to go. Yeah, cool. Thanks for being here. I think we have another one in the back. Hey, what's your name?
Hi, Paulina.
Hi, Paulina. Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet
Thanks for
you.
being here.
Thank you. I wanted to ask you about writing in other languages. My first language is Spanish, so I'm wondering how inclusive is that in the songwriting program, as I feel that as a songwriter, writing in our own native language is really important. So I'm wondering, how do you deal with that, or if you have any students that write in other languages? And thank you so much.
Yeah, that's a great question. We have a wonderful international student population, and we see that as a huge benefit to our whole community. So you are absolutely able to write in your native language. If you'd like to do your whole culminating experience in your native language, that's completely fine. The only thing I would add is that it isn't, the program is taught in English, and so it will be a bit of a different experience getting feedback on lyrics from your teachers, as well as there will, probably be some English collaborations. But actually, a lot of times now, songs are going back and forth between English and Spanish. So we're very supportive of that, is kind of the short answer, and then just being aware that it is an English taught program. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and right in front of you. Hi, what's your name?
Hello, hi. My name is Chibuzo.
Hi, nice to meet you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. I do have a question. I don't know if this is anyone's story here, but I went to school for something. I got my undergrad in something completely different. This was a time where I decided to put my passions aside and be practical. And then so it is everyone's story. So do you decide to be practical, right? But then after years of being practical, you just feel depressed and you're like, what is missing? And music has always been something for me. Like, I've always been writing and composing and arranging. But Berklee, New York City, I saw an ad, and I said this was the time I have to apply. So I have a question for people like me. If I have been writing and I have been doing work, however, it's not to the scale where you could say, oh my gosh, you know, we need to put on radio tomorrow. Is there chances for people like me to join the program, or do you recommend like going to do a summer program or taking classes initially and then applying to the program?
Yeah, great question. I'll give an answer, and then I'm sure Danielle and Justin will maybe have something to add. We have many people in your position who have done a business degree or an engineering degree or any number of things, and they're coming here to make a career pivot, and it's really exciting to have these folks in our community. In your portfolio, the biggest thing we're looking for is your voice coming through, and something that we can hear through demos. We can hear potential. We're not expecting you to give us something that could go right onto the top 40 charts. So I would definitely encourage you to submit. That being said, we want to make sure everyone is set up for success coming in. So we are looking for some experience using a digital audio workstation and enough kind of being able to work your way around these things that you're going to feel like you're succeeding in classes. Do either of you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, sure. We also, if you're not totally confident of your skills, we also do look for potential, whether that's with you having maybe a pretty bold artistic either statement or image or something like that. But we do want to see some fundamental level in terms of producing and songwriting. If you really didn't have much in terms of producing, for example, but then your songwriting was super, super strong, that would be something we would consider. But certainly, if you want to set yourself up for success for the application procedure, then I would look into bolstering whatever you think is your shortcoming, one way or the other.
There are also lots of students who are coming in with different strengths and different gaps in their learning. And we like to accept everyone we can who has that unique X factor to them. And we provide a summer prep course just to enhance skills that might need a little bit of work before students are entering into the fall. So we realize that not everybody is going to be well-rounded in skills. They're probably really strong in some areas and looking to buff up in other areas. So we look at the application very holistically, and then we try to fill those gaps with our summer prep course for entering students as well.
Great. Well, I think I'd like to thank Justin and Danielle so much and bring back up one of my favorite humans ever, Julianne Wick-Davis, and take a few more, speak about a few questions that we get a lot, and then we'll answer a couple more questions. Yeah. And again, we'll be hanging around for 15 minutes or so before the tour, so we're happy to chat more. The first big question we get a lot is scholarships. We offer merit-based scholarships that are based on your portfolio and your interview, and they can go anywhere from covering a little bit of your tuition to covering a fairly substantial portion of it, and you are automatically considered for that scholarship by applying. So when you get your acceptance letter at that same time, you will be notified of your scholarship.
Yeah, and one of the other frequently asked questions is about housing. And we do not provide on-campus housing. However, we have a lot of resources available through our offices that kind of connect everybody who's coming in as a cohort. We help people with apartment finding resources, and then also connecting you so you can find roommates.
Who likes cats? Who doesn't like cats?
Yeah,
we figure it all out.
And so that they can, connect and really save some money in that way. And we have people that are, cross cohorts that are living together right now, and roommates as well. So we definitely provide resources.
And the other question we get a lot is about visas. We have a fantastic office that helps out with this, our International Student Services, who are very, very knowledgeable and helpful. So if you scan this QR code, it's going to go to our admissions page. And if you email bnycadmissions@berklee.edu with any questions, we will be able to kind of send you to the right place, and we want to make sure that you're getting all the support you need and your questions answered.
Great. Do we have any?
Yeah, do we have any?
Time for a few more questions if anybody has any.
Let's go here and then there. Yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
Check. Hi. I wanted to
Hey,
know.
good to see you.
Nice to see you. It's good to be back. Wanted to know if there's any practice rooms or rehearsal rooms where current students can just dig in and write and work.
Yeah, we have 3 writing rooms, which you'll see on the tour, and they're pretty decked out. They're really fantastic places to write, and they've got a lot of great gear. We also allow our classrooms to be booked out after hours. So there's some resources there to dig in between classes or after classes. And I think there was one in the back. Hi, what's your name?
Paulina again.
Oh, hey, Paulina.
Sorry, I have a lot of questions.
No, of course.
I wanted to ask you if songwriting students get access to the studios also as a live production people.
Yeah, so in the songwriting and production classes, you have a class each semester that takes place in the studio that's about studio techniques and studio practices. And along with that comes, in your first semester, comes lab time during the week. That being said, our focus is around creating in the box in this program, creating with your laptop, and really how we see the music industry going. So I would say that's a supplement to your education, and definitely an important one. And then we kind of bring the focus back to laptop creation. Yeah. And let's take 2 more questions, one here, and then we'll be hanging out here and can answer more. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, my name's Choice.
Hi, Choice. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Thanks
you.
for being here.
Thanks. I just wanted to ask about financial aid. I know you did mention the scholarship, but I was also wondering if you had any resources for financial aid and navigating that as well.
I think in our student services that they definitely can help guide you through what kinds of financial support would be available in addition to scholarship, through FAFSA, maybe some other things depending on where you're from, what you do, like what your background is, that sort of thing. But we definitely try to help students as much as possible in this journey of getting here. Yeah.
And then last question here. Hi. Thanks. What's your name?
Hi again.
Hi. Yeah.
I'm Kaysen.
Yes.
I have a question about cross-department collaboration. Are there any opportunities? I'm interested in musical theater, for example. Would I be able to collaborate with songwriting and production students?
We actually, allow students and encourage students to get to know each other across these cohorts and find, people that interest you in the work that they do, and to collaborate. Now, as far as the culminating experience, that isn't something we're able to do just because everybody is working on a different track of what that is. But we certainly have opportunities for people to get to know each other, and then we really encourage that. We have you talked about Friday concerts and?
Not yet.
Yeah. So it's an opportunity for people to kind of, showcase some of the things that they have been creating with each other. But in the last several years, we've had a lot of people who really become close and work and start to collaborate with other people in other cohorts.
Yeah, and one more thing to add to that is we have some amazing electives which are open to all specializations, and that's a place where we see a lot of students from different specializations all getting into the classroom together and doing some really interesting work.
Sweet, thank you.
Great. Well, we want to thank you so much for coming. We want to thank everyone online as well. It's a real pleasure to have you here in our humble abode, and we're looking forward to chatting with you afterwards and giving you a tour.
And don't forget, March 31st is the deadline. Please, any questions, continue to be in touch with us, and we'd be happy to help you get that application in.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
See ya.